And welcome back. Welcome to another MTGA Standard Deck Tech. I have with me today a certain Squantum Flux.
Howdy.
Howdy. And I featured this list here before. I had it with my previous stream setup, so the audio wasn't quite as good. So I figured let's go do it again. But what we have here is Boros Vehicles. It's kind of an artifact deck also, because you have the Ingenious Smith in combination with Patchwork Automaton. Because Patchwork Automaton is a complete brick house. It's like one of the best 2-drops in Standard. It's nuts. It's just, you got to be able to play, build cards around it, right? 2 mana, Ward 2. Already. You need 6 mana if you want to kill it with the Wanderer. You need 4 mana if you want to kill it with a 2-drop, and 3 if you want to portable hole it. It's really good, and by that time, it's already swung and it's become a 3/3 and a 4/4. Really good with Reinforced Ronin. Reinforced Ronin also works well with Ingenious Smith. Ingenious Smith can find Reinforced Ronin, and at the very bottom here you can see whenever one or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. Only triggers once a turn, but that's fine. Stars of the deck are these vehicles here, primarily High-Speed Hoverbike. This card is surprisingly good. Being able to flash in and tap stuff out, especially against runes, after they've dumped all of their runes onto one creature and try to attack you, you just go High-Speed Hoverbike, tap it down. It's a really good feeling. And then there's some cool interactions with Rabbit Battery, Crew Funeral Longboat, swing in, and then reconfigure to detach the Rabbit Battery, and it comes off untapped. So you get to crew it again on your opponent's turn. So there's a bunch of fun little interactions here. Stensia Uprising and Wedding Announcements, just to keep a stable stream of crew creatures going on here. I just recently added this Maul, the Skyclaves. We'll see how that works. How do you think that's going to work, Squantum?
I tried it in my mono white list because I got bopped by it. So it's got viable applications, and
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think solid inclusion. I don't know if two's the number, but you do have a lot going on with the synergies. So two is maybe justified, and
I
it's a good bop.
Yeah, I think so. I think targeting a Ingenious Smith that's has 3 or 4 counters on it, or a Patchwork Automaton, that could end some games pretty quick. So, and then we have the one of Rally the Ranks. This is a human. These make humans. And so that means that I get to essentially bolt my opponent if he has nothing to block at every turn. So I kept the one of here, but mana base is a little wonky. We do what we have to here. These are trying times. These are difficult times in this economy here. So, let's get into some games. This is pretty keepable, right? We have it's definitely a slower hand, but we have these Stensia Uprisings and the winning announcement, so we're okay with being a little bit slower here. Turn 1 portable hole. Oh hey, look what we have. Energizer Bunny. Let's go ahead and swing.
Yeehaw. Peter Cottontail hopping down the bunny trail. I like how Hoverbike is just literally a colorless Merfolk trickster.
It
It's
is.
it's it's what I'm about. It's what I'm about.
And it has flying. So in some ways it's better than Merfolk Trickster. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, definitely an
Ooh.
upgrade. Oh,
Okay, so he's getting back Shigeki. Okay.
the Strixhaven lands. I do not like the reveal of basic lands. They brick so often.
There's something to be said about pulling up mana for another high-speed hoverbike on perhaps on his upkeep, and to tap down the Shigeki and just force him to play it right off the bat. So we're just gonna pass. And then we're going to tap down the Shigeki and force him to do it right off the bat. So this puts him in a scenario where if he wants to play a 4-drop or get the value from Shigeki. Okay. So, and I'd rather him develop his mana at the moment. I don't think he's going to be gaining any life anytime soon, because one of the nice things about this list is it avoids Meat Hook Massacres a little bit. So you have these guys. They're not creatures, not unless you want them to be. I feel like we develop the Stensia Uprising just to kind of put a clock on our opponent a little bit.
I was gonna suggest the wedding announcement because wedding announcement is a lot slower and it'll be more consistent and just in case.
Oh, and
And
yeah, and you know what? I like that because we'll get the draw off of it too, potentially.
even on the hoverbike plan, that turns it into 6 damage, and that's like a
Oh
2-turn
yeah.
clock if this hits.
Winning announcement adds more creatures onto the board potentially. It's stuff that's kind of sticky, stays on the board. For our Stensia Uprisings to get to that almighty 13 permanence number there, and then we could just get to sacrifice it and deal 7 to the face, just clock them.
You're at 9 right now. You're not that far away from it. But of course, Meat Hook Massacre, the most stupidly balanced card in Standard.
Like,
What exactly does that saga do?
you get to play an extra land, gain 3 life, and then it flips to a 3/3. It's
That's
not
pretty
bad.
neat.
Definitely not bad. All right, let's go ahead and do this. 2 Stensia Uprisings. Kill him. We get rid of this because that gets rid of the 3/3. This, I mean, it's not going to be attacking us anytime soon, and it's, I mean, yeah, if he makes a 1/1 pilot creature with it, I'm not too worried. We just fly over it. All right.
I agree with that.
Okay. Oh, Invoke Despair. Okay. So this ability only triggers if I sacrifice it to its ability. So let's go ahead and sacrifice this one. And then the Stensia Uprising is probably a little bit more important for our plan here, right?
God, that is a tough decision. Yeah, since you have him at 13,
And then next turn, I get to Stensia Uprising and sacrifice both of them, right?
yeah. So as much as I love wedding announcement, it put you in a tough decision.
He's still technically dead, I think. If we draw a land or something, Patchwork Automaton. So, okay, we play this, we go up to 11. Trigger, 13. He's dead, right? Oh, I'm a dingus. We don't have the mana. Oh, no. Oh, no. I thought I had more mana than that. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're swinging. I don't have 13 permanents. Okay, I'll take the blame for that one. I thought that I was gonna get to play Stensia Uprising. I don't know why I thought we had 6 mana. I was just
Oh.
It looks like we might be fine though. I don't think we're too worried about it. Okay. Unless he has another Meat Hook Massacre. He could still Meat Hook Massacre us. Just X = 1. I don't think he has it. Okay, so we want to be very careful here to only play the Stensia Uprising and nothing else. Because if it's over 13, then we're screwed. Wait.
Hey man, you're talking to a guy who lost to Trichodecaphobia or whatever that black enchantment was that if your life total was 13, you lose the game. I lost to that in limited at that pre-release, and I'm still scarred because it was like a 13-year-old. Well, I mean, he played it pretty well, and he got kind of lucky, and that was game 2, I think. And then game 3, I just bricked and didn't curve out properly, and it was a whole thing. But it was one of those moments I really enjoyed because it was one of those father son, like we go to the pre-release together, so I got to have that talk to the dad post-game conversation, like, hey, tell him to not attack with his death touch creature. Tell him to leave it back to block to make it more complicated because he just kept swinging for free with his death
Squires,
creature
check it out.
and cracking the back.
Both of them. We got to 14 our opponent. We did it. We did it. We took down the rock, right? Isn't that this archetype? Green black, just value town, mid-rangey threats.
It's just honestly green black good stuff.
The Bankbuster felt a little weird. I think it's just in there because, like, I guess you could crew it and you can just tap it for card advantage and stuff. But, all right. Pretty happy about that. Okay, so this looks pretty keepable. What do you think?
I'm feeling it. You got stuff to do for multiple turns, and you got the most important thing is you're fixing with the Sundown Pass is turned on.
Yeah, I think so too. Does our opponent want to kill it? What are you doing? Really? Okay. Well, I mean, it's not preferable. I would have liked to have it on the board, because then I can just play Reinforced Ronin and then crew the Bankbuster right away. Our opponent is definitely control. Does that mean that we want to start swinging at him and chipping him down with Reinforced Ronins? Unless we want to establish wedding announcement.
Well, and I'm back. We
Hey,
could
welcome back.
establish the wedding announcement board state.
I think that's probably not bad. Mostly because he can't counter it at the moment, right? You know what I mean?
I am a loyal man to my token producers since I've played so much Transmogrify combo in the historic format. So whenever we can go on that plan, I'm for it.
And the sooner that we flip this wedding announcement, the sooner we get to attack with 3/3 Reinforced Ronins and not really worry too much. Oh, Eiganjo. Oh.
What's your permanent count? You're at 10? You have 13 permanents.
Hold this up, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
on the longer plan. Ooh.
Yes. Can we kill our opponent? Reinforce Ronin. Play it. What does he do? Does he counter it? No. Reckoner Bankbuster crew be able to swing for 5, because remember, wedding festivities. Attack all out. He'll block whatever he wants to block. Fateful Absence, sure. That keeps us a permanent on the board. We're good. Let's just draw. So that now we're at 13. And then what does he block? Alright. Because he'll have to clear the board, right?
Yeah, he'll have to address it. He can't outrace you because that he only has one left. And you're at lethal, like a firm lethal.
Uh-huh. Go for it. Swings. Doomscar. Okay. Are we not quite there? So if we go Reinforce Ronin, swing, he has to block 1, trade with the Legion Angel, which means he can't. It's not lethal if he just swings with Cave of the Frost Dragon. Attack all out. He has to block. That kills the Legion Angel. We're no longer dead. Comes back to hand, and we have the mana to channel it if we need to. What do we do here? Do we cycle it? If in a scenario where we draw a High-Speed Hoverbike, we get to tap 1 down, and that'll buff it anyways. High-Speed Hoverbike. We win.
Oh, you're
just drew
prophetic.
That's what we needed. High-Speed Hoverbike, tapping down the Angel, and swing for lethal. We did it! Yes!
You just knew you were going to get it.
Wow. Okay, so we lived through a playset of Legion Angels. Well, I mean, 1 Legion Angel, but, you know. And a Mira's Call. We beat a Mira's Call, 4 Legion Angels, and a Doomscar, and they even killed 2 of our creatures. This deck it just gets there. It just gets there. I'm happy we decided to Stensia Uprising their face. That was pretty crucial. All right. Well, let's get some final thoughts in with the deck. Okay, so what did you think of the deck? I was pretty happy with it. I mean, we just played a couple of games and won both of them in fantastic fashion. Stensia Uprising, though. Absolute all-star.
The synergy between that and your wedding announcements, just, getting 13 permanents is a little bit harder than getting the city's blessing, but it seems pretty consistent to me.
That's a good comparison. That's a really good comparison. The thing is that this buffs the tokens that this produces, and this creates permanents that allow us to sacrifice Stensia Uprising, and continues to churn out dudes that we can use to crew High-Speed Hoverbike. Reinforced Ronin, putting in work. I think Patchwork Automaton was just a 2-drop that it became a 6/6 at the end. I've seen it get to 13/13, more than that even. We have gas. We get to keep drawing with Reckoner Bankbuster and Ingenious Smith, because we have how many artifacts? 25 artifacts. So more than a third of the deck, and you get to look at the top 4 cards to your library to find an artifact. You usually find
And
one.
and surprisingly, you didn't run into your Maw the Skyclaves either.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get to test that out. At some point, I wouldn't be surprised if this would just easily swing for lethal. But at least in that blue-white matchup, he had a lot of flyers, so it wouldn't have mattered too much. I guess we would have had a blocker, but just a 2/2 token off of a wedding announcement that's flipped over. Turn that into a 4/4 flying first striker. that's one hell of a wedding. That's one hell of a crazy wedding. Oh no, Jim's got the Maul the Skyclaves again. Somebody kick him out before he ruins the wedding. So, but with that, I'd say this deck is a success. It's a ton of fun, and I highly suggest you build it. And yeah, so with that, thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good night. Whatever time it is for you, just have a good one. And consider subscribing.
Farewell.